Look out, boxing fans. I'm about to hit you one more time with this video before I get out on the streets. And, the topic that has dominated boxing um, has been outside of the PBC on NBC, has been the Mayweather versus Pacquiao. Big mega fight coming up. Blah, 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 blah. Biggest fight in history. Who gives a damn? But most recently, Freddie Roach had an interview where he stated that Al Haymon put a block on the guys that he wants to get for sparring, to mimic Mayweather, so they can get the best preparation, at least in terms of sparring, leading into the fight. Now, the person who broke the news, I believe, first was 78. I think Ego did some shit, and several other guys. I had several reactions to it. At first, like 78 said, that would be some gangster shit if Al Haymon did that. Like, put the blocks on you, bitch. Hell no, you ain't getting good sparring. Well, you can get good sparring, but you ain't gonna get nobody that look like my guy. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you offer, I'll double that. That is gangster. But if it's true, number two is, it kind of remind me of, like when I first entered boxing. I used to research like a fiend. You know what I'm saying? I know I always say I don't do no research. That's because I don't do it no more. Early when I first got in, when I first saw Tommy Hearn knock somebody out with a right hand, I've been hooked ever since. I wanted to know so much about Tommy Hearn. I wanted to know about that era of boxing. I wanted to know about eras leading into that. The guys that was his favorite. I wanted to know about them. So I did research. I did used to do research a lot, but I don't do it a lot now because I really don't have time. Y'all know I don't even be doing this. I don't even be on videos. I may leave next week. You may not see me for another 6 months. I don't know. Just right now I'm feeling it. So, but anyway, back in the game when I first kind of got into boxing, I used to read about shit like that. When the mob had his influence in the sport, one of the various ways they used to kind of corrupt the sport. You could talk about their influence on the sport in many, many ways, fixing fights and all types of stuff of that now on that front. But like I said, if it's true about what Al Haymon doing, that kind of reminded me of the stuff I was reading years ago, which in fact is some gangster shit. So, but also I had another feeling on it. How the fuck would Al Haymon know the guys that Freddie Roach want to bring in for sparring? It's not like he pays Freddie Roach or Freddie Roach is a part of Mayweather promotion or a part of Al Haymon's managerial team. So how the fuck would he know that the guys that Freddie Roach want to bring in? I mean, I don't understand that. I don't see how that would be, how he would know about that. I mean, what is he that damn smart where he's a psychic? He can figure out, oh, he's going to want this guy. I mean, I guess did he get the same guys that he had got in the past, like Steve Forbes? And if he wants Steve Forbes, if I was Al Haymon, I'd be like, go right ahead. Steve Forbes is not Mayweather. He is tricky and he is difficult, but it's not the same. In fact, I really don't know any fighters that can actually mimic what Mayweather does in the ring, because the guys that mimic Mayweather have gotten their ass whooped. Berto, Broner, and many other guys, even guys that really don't have a name in this game, tried to fight like him and got beat. So I don't know if there's any truth to that, but like I said, if it is, it's kind of gangster, man. I agree with 78 wholeheartedly. If y'all haven't seen 78 videos, check it out. I encourage you to subscribe, thumb it up, and just give it a look. You got a lot of good shit on that channel. What else is going on in boxing? Since we're on the subject of sparring, it most recently came to the forefront that former, I don't know how many times, 5-time world champion Zab Judah will be going into the Mayweather camp, or he's actually in the camp, and he will be doing sparring with Mayweather. And this is, it's good. I mean, Mayweather, unlike a lot of fighters, has the money, the clout, and the respect where he can bring world champions in to do sparring. Usually, the upper echelon fighters, they're not going nowhere to do no sparring. They're not sparring partners. You know what I'm saying? You won't see a guy like Danny Garcia, oh yeah, I'm going to go help such and such spar. You know what I'm saying? Unless he's a stablemate within the gym, then you can't help but to spar him. You know what I'm saying? But guys like that are not sparring partners. Guys like Zab would never go to another camp for sparring unless he's past it. He is out of the game forever. Uh, I mean, you just wouldn't see it. Usually, guys that come in for sparring are guys on the way up. Lights out amateurs, they get brought in for sparring sometimes. Tough journeymen who may emulate a certain style or where they're pressure fighters. They're tough guys, can take a lot of punches and have a decent punch, but the record doesn't indicate that they're anything. Those guys like that come in for sparring most of the time. But see, we're talking about Mayweather, who has more money than damn near everybody out there, to where a guy like Zab Judah would entertain the notion of being a sparring partner, because the money he gonna get for sparring is coming from Mayweather, so he gonna get a pretty decent penny. And what I would say on that front is, since nobody can emulate Pacquiao either, is to get as many different southpaws that you can. You can never have enough looks from a southpaw stance. Every southpaw brings something different to the table, to which it can help you prepare for one of the best southpaws in the game. And not the best southpaw as far as being technically sound, but he's fast and he punch hard. So you want to bring a guy in who probably is short in southpaw, or a guy who has blazing hand speed from the southpaw stance, a guy who has blazing foot speed from the southpaw stance, and then you want to bring in naturally bigger southpaws so you can prepare for whatever types of power shots, you expect to encounter during the fight. So you're bringing in Zab, and he can punch, and he's fast, and he's short. That's a good look. And he's slick. So a lot of the things Zab Judah did while he was fighting, Pacquiao don't do, or he's not capable of doing. I'm not saying Zab Judah is a better fighter than Pacquiao. Nothing of the sort will ever leave my lips. Their own resumes and accolades of what they've accomplished in the sports let you know that that's an incorrect statement. But there are things that he can do that can help Mayweather prepare for, like a Pacquiao hook, or a Pacquiao straight left hand, or just various things that are done in the ring from a guy from a southpaw stance. Also, if he needs more looks, maybe he should bring in Devin Alexander, who is on Team Rebuild right now. I'm sure he don't have a marquee fight on the horizon, and he can virtually forget about any Mayweather fight that was possibly proposed in the future, because he got to rebuild himself after getting beat up by Amir Khan. But there are still things that Devin Alexander can do in camp that can help Mayweather prepare for a guy like Pacquiao. The hand speed, he's a shorter guy. They fight within the same division. Devin got a pretty decent punch, and he, like I said, there's just different looks that he can get from southpaws. Nobody will totally emulate Pacquiao, but you want to get as close as you can get, and you want to have a variety of guys and a variety of things that they may offer, so you can get the best look you can, and of course the best work leading into the fight, since you're going to be fighting multiple guys for I don't know how many amounts of rounds every other day. Or knowing Mayweather, he spars unlike any other guys. A lot of different guys have different regimens in terms of when they spar. Some guys spar every other day. Some guys spar 3 days a week. Some guys spar a lot of just hundreds of rounds. Well, not hundreds, but just over 100 rounds leading into a fight. So I think some other guys that he had back in the past, like when he was preparing for Victor Ortiz or Robert Guerrero, I think he should bring back DeAndre Lattimore if he's in some type of shape. He's a big guy, a big 54-pounder. He can punch, and his dimensions are much more different than a Pacquiao. But still, he can still give you looks from the southpaw stance that can help prepare you for what Pacquiao may or may not bring to the table. I think he should bring in Sekou Pao from New York, another southpaw. He's been in camp with Mayweather before, and he can give you good looks from the southpaw stance. He's much taller and much more rangier than Pacquiao, but still, if you can prepare for the best from a guy who has um, bigger dimensions than a Pacquiao, the big guy beats the good big guy beats the good little guy in the sport. But Pacquiao has proven that theory wrong. But still, in preparation, if you can see it coming from a big guy who is rangier, then it's a good chance you can see it coming from a little guy who's not as rangy. He's just faster. That's why you bring in the speed and the size and the power and the foot speed all together, culminating preparing for a Pacquiao. Because you'll never bring in a guy who has every inconceivable or every conceivable detail that what a Pacquiao may present on fight night. But if you can get as close as possible, then your preparation is that much better. I think he should also bring back Kasim Uma. Outside of Pacquiao and Margarito, the closest thing to a guy who threw over 100 punches in a round is Kasim Uma, who has probably records still known for throwing over 1,000 punches in a fight. He's from the southpaw stance, as Margarito isn't. He was just an example of a volume puncher. Kasim Uma has been known to give everybody he ever goes to camp with. Now, when he was world champion, he wasn't going to camp with other people preparing them for fights, but he's out of the game pretty much. I mean, nobody's been giving him an opportunity at this juncture, at this particular part of his career, and he's been in the Mayweather camp before. So I think he's another one that can give Mayweather good looks. In fact, Mayweather said he had got the best of him in one of those sparring sessions. He said that on maybe it was All Access at that time, or it could have been 24/7. I forget. But still, so in his prime, Kasim Uma was a damn good southpaw, and I think he would also give Mayweather some really good looks to prepare for Pacquiao. And let me see, who else could give him some issues that'll help prepare him. I don't know, but as of right now, I think those guys would be absolutely great. Maybe throw on Errol Spence. Errol Spence, he does not fight like Pacquiao, but he does come forward. He does throw a lot of punches. He is strong. He has given Mayweather some issues in the prior sparring session, and I don't even think he has a fight. I think he already fought. So I don't think he has anything up. He's a young guy on the way up, and it's still good experience for him because he's supposed to be the next big star. Bring him in. There's no way he's going to get a shot at Mayweather before Mayweather retires, so this can only help him when he gets to his championship experience. Watching how the champ trains, watching how the champ prepares, watching how the champ spars, sparring with the champ, trying to take as many details that he can from sparring sessions that he's probably not going to get the best of every time. He got them once, but hey, everybody has good days in sparring against guys. So, but I think he does offer a lot of good things from a southpaw stance that he can help with, and he's strong. He can hit. Pacquiao he's not physically strong, but he can hit. How he generates that type of power, I mean, one will never know. I mean, I don't really know the full details of what makes Pacquiao have the explosive power that he's had coming up from the small weights. I can only speculate, which I have in the past before. But you want to be able to get everything you can get in sparring. So when you get to the fight, Pacquiao power is not anything you haven't experienced before. Now, granted, Pacquiao is going to be able to use the Reyes gloves, which are puncher's gloves. We all know that it doesn't have the foam padding. It has horsehair, kind of what makes Reyes gloves the most dangerous puncher's glove that's been in the game for a while. And it's a welterweight fight, so they can use 8-ounce gloves. Anything from 147 on down can use 8-ounce gloves. Anything above 147 is 10. And unless negotiated in a contract, from what I've seen in my time. But that's gonna be interesting too, because I can imagine what it feels like getting hit by Pacquiao with some 8s on. But he got hit by Zab with some 8s on, and he took it well. And Zab has been known to get a guy out of there with that left hand. So we'll just have to see what happens when they get in the ring. I don't know if Pacquiao can knock Mayweather out. Mayweather has shown that he can take a big punch. He's been hurt, but he's always weathered the storm, and he never went down from a big shot. Legitimately. He sparred with some of the biggest punchers out there. I remember Kofi Jantua saying, "Oh, he can take it. He can take it, man. Y'all think he's not tough, but he can take it." And if you've been around, don't go to box rec like y'all do. Y'all some box rec warriors. Just box rec every damn thing. God damn, get you some history, man. Sometimes box rec is inaccurate. But anyway, if you know anything about Kofi Jantua, if you was around when he was fighting, he never really had the best boxing skills in the world, but the boy could crack. You could see some Kofi Jantua highlights back in the game on these ESPN highlight reels and things of that nature. And he sparred with Kofi Jantua. I forget who it was for. Maybe it was for Cotto. Maybe it was for Shane. I think it was for Shane because he was fighting a legit welterweight, and Mayweather brought in middleweights and junior middleweights to prepare for him. And if you can take shots from Kofi Jantua, Pacquiao can't do nothing with you for a big shot. Now you saw he just took a flush overhand right from Maidana, and his feet, he didn't have both his feet under him. Now in the past, when you see a guy take a shot like that, when he don't have both his feet under him, that guy's supposed to go down. And Mayweather didn't go down. Now granted, it was the end of a round, and he kind of did a little stagger to his corner and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he fought on and won. So, and we know Maidana. Maidana hit pretty much anybody with that flush overhand right like that, yeah, you finna lay down, homie. So that didn't take place. So I just wanted to touch bases on some issues going on in boxing. The situations with the sparring with Pacquiao and with Mayweather. I really don't know who Pacquiao can bring in to emulate Mayweather. I guess people would say Steve Forbes because he was trained by damn near all three Mayweathers at one point. Outside of that, I just really don't know who he can bring in. I mean, he can bring in quick guys, fast guys, guys who are technically sound. But who can prepare you to face Mayweather? I don't know. I really wouldn't know who the first guy you can bring in for that. I guess you want to bring in a guy who has a very good jab. You definitely want to bring in a guy with a jab because Mayweather, if he fights smart, which I haven't done a video as to who I think gonna win. Not saying my video determines a winner. The ring sorts out the facts. I've said that hundreds of times because it's the truth. Only the ring is going to sort the facts out. And a Mayweather fight is going to sort the facts out. When you get in the ring with him, everything is going to be revealed in front of you. If you got flaws, he's going to reveal it to you. And I don't know. I just know Manny Pacquiao has accomplished a lot. He's a great fighter. And what he's done, his attributes are just crazy. To be so small and to be able to hurt, drop, stop substantially bigger guys. I got my own ideas of why that took place, but it's at the end of the day, it's just speculation or conjecture at best because I don't know. And it's going to be an explosive fight, which I can't wait to see it. If y'all guys got anything you want to add, man, do a video or leave it in the comment section. Let's chop it up. And I'll just holler at y'all next time. Peace.